Welcome back, and in today's video I want to talk to you about another USB type microphone, and it's this one right here. It is the FiFine Ampligame USB microphone, and as you see, it already comes with a pop filter that's built in, and it does come off. It just simply slides off and then slides back on. This is the little connector piece. And I don't know how well you'll see it. There's right here is a little T looking piece of plastic. That's where this slides on. Now, one thing I will say about this pop filter is if you do take it off, please be very careful. And I'm about to tell you why. Everything you see right here is pretty much plastic. Doesn't feel like the cheap brittle plastic, but it is all plastic, and it's extremely lightweight. This doesn't even feel like 10 ounces, to be honest with you. And the pop filter is plastic. This is all plastic, but it does sound very good. But I'm getting ahead of myself. This is a plug and play microphone for Windows and Mac OS. You already seen the pop filter, which I like the little smiley face. And let me show you on the bottom here. This is a shock mount as well. As you can see, I can maneuver it around. And what a shock mount does is when you have it on a microphone stand or the stand that it comes with, and you put it on there and you start maybe typing on your keyboard or tapping, putting your hands on and off the table or desk, wherever you may have it, the shock mount will absorb a lot of those vibrations, so those vibrations don't get picked up into the microphone and cause horrible sound. So it's pretty nice that they have it on a shock mount. You do get a cable, which is USB Type-C on one end, and on the other end it's your basic standard USB Type-A. And let me show you the USB Type-C. Right there. Does come with its own nice little cable tidy, like one of those Velcro type cable tidies. And the cable itself is of really good length. It's 6.6 feet or about 2 meters in length. And it's very, very nice. The stand that it comes with is heavier than the microphone. I know it looks like one of those really cheap ones, but it feels pretty sturdily built. Or built pretty sturdy. To be honest, it's not bad to get you going, but I would highly recommend you get a better stand. Now, you connect it right here, which is a standard size for a microphone stand. And that's pretty much what this is too, right here, and it's plastic as well. This little knob right here, once you loosen it up, it's so you can adjust it up and down. And that's pretty much it for the adjustment. It does have a mute button, which is on top, and it's a touch sensitive mute button. So you don't have to press really hard. You just give it a quick tap and it activates or deactivates the mute function. Right here on the back of the microphone is the USB-C port that you plug the cable into. And it is a cardioid patterned microphone. And that's pretty much it for the specs. I'm going to give you a picture of the spec sheet that's included just before the test video so you can see that. And speaking of the test video, let's get to it right now. So right now what you are hearing is audio coming from the FiFine Ampligame USB microphone. Yes, that's a mouthful. Currently I got the gain or the volume set at half, and it's just out of arm's reach from me, which is probably about a good 3 feet away from me right now. So since the volume is at halfway mark, let's test the proximity effect and the shock mount at the same time. What the proximity effect is or means is technically the closer the microphone gets to the subject of the audio, meaning me, it should sound a little bit louder, a little bit deeper, and a little bit richer. And of course, if you're going to get this close to the microphone, which is, by the way, barely touching my upper lip, or the pop filter is, you should physically lower your voice down so you're not overloading the microphone, causing distortion and other types of noise. You can also turn down the volume manually on the microphone as well. So I'm going to keep the microphone this far away from me, and what I'm going to do is turn the microphone all the way up, and it's right there. The volume, or the gain, volume, whatever you want to call it, is turned up all the way. And as you can see, I never moved my arm. And now I'm going to talk a little bit and slowly turn the microphone down all the way, or the volume down all the way. Let's get you back up to halfway again. And the RGB lights are a nice little touch, but you cannot control them whatsoever. Well, there's only one way you can control the RGB lights, and that is to shut them off. And how do you shut them off? That's when you activate the mute button, just like tap the mute button again, the lights come back on. So pretty much these RGB lights are just going to do their own little thing, and the only way you can control them is to shut them off by tapping the mute button. And since we did that, I'm going to test it right now. I'm going to stay quiet. I'm going to activate and then deactivate the mute button just to see if there's any noise that comes through when doing that. There you go. Now I'm going to turn it up all the way again. And this is still kind of testing the shock mount that it comes with to see if any noise comes in with higher volume levels. Once again, the microphone is just about 3 feet away from me, just out of camera shot, and it's turned up all the way, and this is what the microphone sounds like this far away. No, I'm not going to test the proximity effect or any of that or any of those functions, because that's kind of ridiculous. So let's pick it back up, turn it back down to halfway, because I want to show you how I figured out what all the way up is and what all the way down is. Yes, the knob does stop at a certain point, which is really nice, but there's no real true visual indicators to tell you when you're up all the way or down all the way. So on the bottom of the mic, you see this big long blue line? That's the halfway mark. This one here is the maximum volume or gain. That one is the lowest volume or gain. And just to prove it, let me turn it up all the way. Now I should sound a little bit louder. And let me turn it all the way down. How I figured out to do that is I turned the volume up all the way. And I put that piece of tape there. Then I turned it down all the way, and I did it that way. Then I kind of figured out where the distance is between the two, coming this way. And that's how I figured out where the halfway mark is. And I put a piece of tape there. And then I, of course, once it was aligned with one of those 3 markers, I put a piece of tape on the knob itself to give me that visual cue. Now, since this is a cardioid patterned microphone, I'm going to test that out for you as well. As you can tell right now, I've been talking directly really in the front of the microphone. Now what I'm going to do is talk to you on one side of the microphone, so there should be a definite difference in how I sound. Now I'm going to talk to the back of the microphone, and there should be even a bigger difference in audio when I'm talking to the back of the microphone. Now I'm talking to the other side of the microphone, and it should sound better than when I was talking to the back. This is the front. And, well, now I'm back to the front of the microphone talking to you like a normal person should. And, well, that now concludes the test of the FiFine Ampligame USB microphone. I hope this test was a good one for you. Let's get back to my final thoughts. Alrighty, that was the test video for the FiFine Ampligame USB microphone. And I actually kind of like the way it sounds. It's not as warm as some of the other microphones I have done, especially the Movo, but it definitely gets the job done, and it'll definitely help improve your audio. Now, one thing I want to make mention, since this is brass in here and this is plastic, every now and then when you attach this, watch, it probably won't do it now. You hear that squeaks? One thing I'm going to suggest for you to do, there's the squeaks, is get some of this right here. It's super lube. Now this is a multi-purpose synthetic grease. It's also food grade, and it's also dielectric, meaning it'll conduct electricity. And I love this stuff. I use it like on all my flashlights, especially the ones I reviewed for you on this channel. You know, where you put the cap on for the battery compartment. I wipe it clean with a nice cloth or paper towel, and I put a little dab of this on it. See, not a whole lot. And what you can do is if you put this on the threads of this plastic, like I'm doing right now, you work it in a little bit. And now, after a few times, if you put this on, as you can hear, the squeaking goes away. The other good thing about having this grease on here is it won't get the threads stuck. You know, sometimes if you just leave it sitting there for a while, it kind of gets stuck due to oxidation or crud just getting in there. See, look, no squeaking. Just totally eliminated the squeak for you. There you go. So that's another thing I would like to recommend you get, is that super lube. You can find it anywhere on the internet. I got mine off of eBay. I think I only paid like $8 for that tube. It's a really good household grease to have, and you don't need a whole lot of it like this. Very little you need to put in there to make it work right. So you don't need a whole lot, and it's great. It has multiple uses, but I digress. So what do I think of the FiFine Ampligame USB microphone? Well, besides some of the things I mentioned in the test video, like no visual aspects to tell you, you know, how loud or how quiet you are, I really do like this microphone. It's like a $50 microphone. I do like the lights. It looks pretty cool. I even like the sound of it. I think it sounds more natural than, say, a podcasting microphone, where a podcasting microphone is nice and deep and warm and rich. If you're not really looking for that type of a sound, you just want to sound more natural, this microphone is definitely worth getting. I even like the colors that it does. I just wish that I could maybe at least adjust the speed of the lights that are in the microphone. That would have been kind of nice to have, at least the speed. Would have been nice to have a full range of things to do it, like maybe have it stuck on one color, or the intensity of the lights, so in case it's too bright, you can dim it down or turn it up even higher than what it's, you know, at right now. But I understand that they probably did it that way for the price point that they were aiming at. But FiFine, if you happen to be watching this video, yeah, maybe consider that in the next iteration of this microphone. Maybe have it where we have a little bit more control over the RGB lights in here. I mean, for it being a plastic housed microphone, I think this performs very well. But all in all, I digress. Do I recommend you get the FiFine Ampligame USB microphone? Yeah, I do. I know it's a bit more expensive than some of the other microphones I tested for you and reviewed for you. It's $50, but still, you heard how it sounded, and I thought it sounded really fantastic. I like how it sounds. It's a more natural sounding microphone. It's not like the Movo, where the Movo is a little bit deeper, richer, and warmer, but that's more of a podcasting type microphone, in my opinion, than something like this. So, yes, all microphones do have a certain sound profile, and they're not all made equal. So you also have to keep that in mind as well. Just remember, what are you looking for? Do you want that podcaster sound? Do you want just a natural sound, which to me would be better when you're live streaming or if you're gaming? To me, a more natural sound would be better than the podcast sound, you know. But that's me. You have to figure out which style of sound you are looking for. But once again, I do recommend you get the FiFine Ampligame USB microphone. It's a mouthful. It's a pretty good price. It'll definitely improve your audio, especially if you are streaming or if you happen to maybe be using your computer or laptop to make YouTube videos. It'll definitely improve your audio for that. So it's definitely worth the money, in my opinion. Humbly. And if you happen to like this video, please give it that thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to my channel and don't forget about that notification bell. It would really help me out a lot if you were to share some of my videos, including this one, on all of your social media sites. And until the next video, you, your friends, your family, and your pets, all of you, you have a great day. I'll see you in the next video.